What's happening, House of Dragon fans? It's Lamont Tyson, a version of a black nerd, not Andre the Black Nerd, but I am a black nerd, and there are several of us out there. This is my review of House of Dragons, episode 2. Great episode, not a lot of action, but you didn't need the action because the storylines going on in this thing is so good, and I'm here to break it down for everyone. If you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so when I drop videos, you get them. You can follow me on the TikTok, on Instagram and Twitter. I've got links for both of those. You can download this show on the podcast. And you can also come catch us live Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel as we make predictions for what's going to happen in the coming episode. I know a lot of you all were happy. They gave you guys the intro song that was pretty much the same one as Game of Thrones. And you just wonder if they are going to be changing what happens in the intro based on the episode similar to what they did in Game of Thrones. And I thoroughly enjoyed them just bringing back the intro. Like I said, I told people I can work out to the Game of Thrones music. I know that seems weird, but hey, I am a black nerd and I do weird things. And did you notice how they had the blood and the Targaryen family tree? And that blood was supposed to represent the blood of old Valeria from the Targaryens family. And did you see them show that model of the freehold in the beginning as well? And how they had the freehold in the mouth of a damn volcano, ladies and gentlemen. Whose idea was it to put the mouth of your castle in a damn volcano? Well, there's a reason why they did that. They did that because the dragons love heat. And what better place to get heat than being in the mouth of a volcano? But ladies and gentlemen, you gotta know that at some point in time, a volcano is gonna erupt. And it's like, damn, dude, you didn't think that these volcanoes would eventually erupt? And throughout the intro, they just show you all the different the bloods of the Valerians and the Targaryens is going from place to place, which highlights what's gonna usually happen in the story. And the title of this story was Rogue Prince. That's just doing nothing but talking about old devil-ass Daemon, who in this episode went there and stole a damn dragon egg, and we'll get to that in a minute. They opened up the episode showing a man on a shore tide being eaten by a damn crab. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy, the crab feeder, with a victim tied up to a stake on low tide, and you see how he feeds all his victims to the damn crabs as the story goes on. And ladies and gentlemen, they did show Crab Feeder at the very end after Corlys and Daemon had their little conversation, just basically talking about they was, second sons in this family genetics, meaning that they were lesser tier members of their family. And the reason I feel like they showed Crab Feeder, whose name really, Cargus Drahar, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to post your theories and comments down below, that he is one of these second member tiers that got kicked out of the family, possibly a Targaryen bastard. And so now he's raging war. And I'm just like this, man. The king decided not to listen to the black dude who's on his council. The black dude is Corlys, and you ain't listened to him. And now this is what your ass is getting. You getting Crab Feeder in the Triarchy causing terror all over the place, and maybe you should start listening to him because the dude been trying to help you, but you ain't been trying to hear it. They get on to a small council meeting, and in the small council meeting, they let us know that it's been a year since the first episode, and they're having to replace the Lord Commander who died of an illness, Rayam. He died, and now that he's gone, this dude right here, Sir Harold, is now going to be taking over as the head of the head of the knights. However, they still got to replace the old guy. And we all had an idea of who we thought was going to be getting into this thing. It's the homie Christian Cole. And during this small council meeting, Rhaenyra gives her idea of how she can help out with what's going on with Crab Feeder. And did you see how quickly the men shut that shit down and told her to go on out there with Sir Harold and pick the newest knight that's going to be helping out? I was like, they just shut my girl down and sent her out there. And she goes and she picks Christian Cole, which was very smart because Christian Cole does have battle experience. And also, ladies and gentlemen, she has a crush on Christian Cole. And you just wonder, how is this going to play out later? Her having a crush on Christian Cole, I highlighted last week that I feel like her and Allison had something going on. And you could just cut the tension with a damn butter knife, ladies and gentlemen, how thick it was between her and her damn uncle. And we'll get into all that in a little bit. And we get back to that small council meeting. Corlys is just basically saying, look, man, can y'all help me out here? I'm struggling with this crab feeder. He's destroying my business. You know I'm a shipper and I got all this business going on. And basically the king and the crew, they ain't trying to hear nothing. They don't give a damn about Corlys and his business. And basically Otto just tells him, the king has spoken. Shut your ass up. Get up out of here if you want to stay a member of this court. How did you guys think that was going to make Corlys feel? He's out there losing money left and right, hand over fist, and the council and the king is acting like it's not a big deal. And we know that it's because Viserys is a weak-ass king. He's very, very weak. And end of the day, he ain't trying to do nothing that's going to make him expend any thought at thinking about doing better. Now, I did like how they was highlighting from the conversation where Rhaenyra was talking to the council about, let me go ride my dragon, help out Corlys, and they shut her down. That was just a highlighting of one of my favorite people on the show now, Rhaenys, and how she had the conversation with Rhaenyra about how, young lady, there's a male patriarchy going on here. They are never going to ever let a woman be the queen. They would rather burn this thing down all over again than to allow a woman to be the damn queen of the lands. Rhaenys is absolutely right because they just basically told Rhaenyra how they feel about her council in that meeting. We have a situation out here, ladies and gentlemen. We do. We have a situation. One of the dragon keepers, speaking in nothing but Valyrian, comes out and lets the council know that a damn dragon egg was stolen by Daemon. Old devil-ass Daemon. And you know what Daemon tells them he's going to do? Daemon tells them he intends to give this dragon egg to his whore. He's got her pregnant, and he's going to wed her so that his son won't be born a damn bastard. And that's the story that is told to the High Council. And they are madder than a fire ant in water. Otto is not feeling it. The king decides he's going to run on out there and go talk to the brother, and Otto puts the brakes on that and decides to go out there himself. And when they get out there, ladies and gentlemen, guess who has to save the day? And she wasn't supposed to go save the day, but she's a warrior. She's got a little bit of that Arya Stark in her. Rhaenyra. She goes out there, stops this war, prevents everything from happening because she had a little conversation with her brother. She's like, look, man, you do know Dragonstone technically is mine, right? Technically, I'm supposed to be the one that belongs to Dragonstone. You just here borrowing it. And she rode out there on her majestical dragon. Everybody was in awe. And you know what? Feel that energy again between these two. And later on, when she becomes older, you know what's going to happen. He going to get the cousin. He's going to get the niece panty draws. They're going to smash. And it's going to be a big to-do. But she averted bloodshed in the fight. And he damn throws the egg to her like he Roger Clemens at the bottom of the eighth in a baseball game. But she averted a war. And we find out that he basically had lied. Mysaria was very, very hot with Daemon because he lied in front of everybody, and she gave a smashing speech about how she wants to have freedom to do what the hell she wants to do, and that she would never be dealing with the burden of children. And you know what? I'm with her. She's tired of being everybody's whore. She's tired of being slaved around, and she came with Daemon so that she could be free and have protection, and damn if he almost threatened that. But at the end of the day, I do think he cares about her. But at the end of the day, people, if he needs to get power, he will throw this whore to the side because she really don't mean a whole lot to him. Now, they showed many, you have Alicent speaking to the king, And, just having her pretend like she care about his little damn replica of the freehold. And he's just explaining to her how everything is going with the freehold. And there's a replica where you have Balerion, and he explained to her how he only got to ride Balerion one time before he died. And then the conversation comes up, ladies and gentlemen, about Vhagar, who is the biggest of all the living dragons. Vhagar is so big that she won't fit down there where they keep the dragons, so she's just roaming around the world. Big ass dragon, doing whatever the hell she wants to do, roaming around the world. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, we're going to see that dragon. They don't mention Vhagar for nothing. We're going to see her, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my prediction later on of who I think is going to ride Vhagar. Let I say, we finally going to get a black on Dragonback. Then we go to Corlys. He reveals that the Valyrians are older than the Targaryens, but they don't have dragons, so that's how they get into the shipping and all the things they do with ships. And I really, really loved how much dialogue him and his family got this episode, because it's just highlighting just how powerful his bloodline is, how old his bloodline is. And for a lot of us African Americans, we've been waiting to see when they was going to involve an African American in a very big way. But it also lets me know something else, people. I think it's highlighting that Corlys' ass is going to die. His kids are already not grown, but they're older. He's already produced children. What the hell they need him on the show for? Rhaenys, I can see them keeping her, and I can see them keeping the kids. But Corlys, get ready to die, my brother. You know how they do us. You're going to die. Alicent and the king just having more and more conversations. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, you know this has been a year. And so Alicent and the king have had plenty of opportunity to just kind of get to know each other a little better. And she's been cooing him and schooing him and just being at his side since his wife died. But at the end of the day, this is all a plot for Otto. Otto has constantly been telling his damn daughter to go in there, supplant herself with the king. And we see that Otto is just trying to make a play for the throne, ladies and gentlemen. Now, at this point, does anybody really trust Otto's motivations? I don't. I think Otto might be secretly the most evil person that we know. But at this moment, he's playing the Game of Thrones. And he's trying to get his daughter in good with the king. And it winds up happening at the very end at the expense of someone who was very mad. And I'll talk about her in a second. How did y'all like the fact that the king's skin cancer is advancing? First, it was on his back, and now, ladies and gentlemen, his damn fingers is coming off. It's dying, so they stick his fingers in maggot therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, they do this in real life to this day. They get sterile maggots to eat off dead skin, and it's supposed to be a really, really good therapy because when they eat the dead skin off, they stimulate blood flow to come back to those areas. But I'm sure the maesters didn't know that back in the day. And now, who else is getting pissed off by Alicent at the end is going to be the one that the king is going to marry? I do believe Rhaenyra and Alicent had something going on. Look at Alicent coming down to comfort Rhaenyra after she had conversation with her dad. She was upset. They go down here and just kind of pray about the mom, and they was holding hands. And I think that they had a little something going on the side that ain't nobody know about, which further made Rhaenyra more angry at the dad. But the dad didn't know they had nothing going on, but it probably made her really, really upset that Alicent is going to wind up being the person that's going to give the dad an heir, that's going to threaten her hold on the crown. And this is a picture of them later on when they're older in the story. As you can see, Alicent has on the green, Rhaenyra has on the black, and that's what it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be black versus green. These two that were former best friends and lovers are now going to be at each other's throats. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to make for great TV. My new favorite character, Rhaenys, is in here telling the king, look, man, your ass need to man up. You need to man up, and you need to fortify your kingdom by having a male full-blood Targaryen as the heir, and we want to offer up our daughter, Linnea, to be the person that you can do it with. And I also like how Corlys said the best way to weather a storm is to go straight into it or around it. basically telling the king, look, dude, stop being a punk and handle the situations coming at you, and don't let them come hit you and handle you. And then you see the king walking with their daughter, and the whole conversation with the king and the daughter, based on the daughter, was she wanted to know about Vhagar the dragon. Now, this is my theory, ladies and gentlemen. The king is not going to marry this girl. He wasn't really feeling her. But what I think is going to happen is that at some point in time, she's going to be riding Vhagar because she is Targaryen. She's got the magic in her. She's going to be able to ride it. And that's when we're going to get a chance to see our first black on Dragonbat. And I hope they make her a badass when she's older, tearing shit the hell up. Do you hear me? She is going to be hurting folks' feelings. And then, ladies and gentlemen, at the end, Corlys, who is so upset that the king basically slighted him twice, didn't want to marry his daughter, didn't want to go help with Crab Feeder, goes and make an illicit, ill-gotten alliance with devil-ass Daemon. And this is when he gives him the conversation about they're all second sons. And basically, second sons in this lore just means that you was, second tier in a patriarchy of some high dynasty, and they really don't give you the respect you need. You see a lot of guys that become mercenaries because of this, and you've seen a whole damn crew of people become mercenaries and get on boats and make their own team over this type of crap. Well, he forms this alliance with Daemon. Daemon buys in, and in the next episode, we're going to probably be seeing Daemon, Corlys, and his crew go attack Crab Feeder, who we all are thinking is probably Targaryen himself and got exiled from the family, the same way Daemon and Corlys feel like they have been exiled from their families as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my episode 2 House of Dragons review. Please post your comments on all the theories in here, all the Easter eggs, and everything you think is going to happen. And what do you think about my theory of Corlys' daughter riding Vhagar, the dragon, that is just basically hanging out, doing whatever the hell she wants to do, not being bothered by anyone. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get that life game. Be sure to come check me on my channel Friday night at 9 p.m. as I go live to talk predictions for episode 3 of House of Dragons. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'll see you.